السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا اغفر لي ولوالدي وللمؤمنين يوم يقوم الحساب برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن توليت وبارك لنا فيما أعطيت وقنا شر ما قضيت فإنك تقضي ولا يقضى عليك إنه لا يذل من واليت ولا يعز من عاديت تباركت ربنا وتعاليت فلك الحمد على ما قضيت نستغفرك اللهم ونتوب إليك وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين. We have been studying the story of Adam, but because the subject coincided with our studies on Monday, which was related to Araf, and same subject was touched upon there. So what we will do, we will try to be as brief as possible so that we will try to avoid repetitions, inshallah. So, but this verse is interesting for us because it is not in the section Araf 28, Baqarah 28, the second section of the Quran 28. It says, we said, get down all of you from this state. Now we understood until now that the story of Adam, we were all always interpreting that the story of Adam is not a story of one person, particular the prophet Adam's creation, but it is ours. We understood from this verse also and other verses as well. Actually, we will touch upon it when it is turned to study those verses. Get down, all of you, from this state. Of course, all of you means a plural, everybody. So the verse says, but when guidance comes from me, of course, we understand that guidance came to us. So when we are here, because we know that the revelation in many forms and historically in other traditions, religious traditions like Judaism and Christianity, also the prophets and the revelation were sent to humankind. So we are sure that the story of Adam is every human being's Adam, every human being's story. So get down from where we discussed this. It is from paradise. It means from our primordial creation, without being distorted by our free will, choosing the non-existent options, non-reality, and being misguided. So this paradisical creation may be represented as a child. So they are innocent. They don't really choose anything deliberately wrong, but they are learning, they are being trained to get ready, to fit, to adjust their life according to the living conditions of this world, but when they are born, they are purely innocent. And you can refer it to the childhood of mankind or people, or paradise. It means the real situation of our spirit without being distorted or corrupted. So if we really refer to our original creation, then we understand that when we tend not to follow the requirements of our spirit, but mix it up, deviated, corrupted, etc., then we are out of this original pure existence. Of course, the original pure existence is represented in the Quran. We know that it is spirit breathed into human being, every human being, by their creator. So this is pure. And when we start practicing our free will, and when we deviate from this original state of pure existence, then it represented in the Quran, get out, get down, out of this paradise or pure, unspoiled nature of human being, the creation of human being. But when we are out of our original state, are we left alone? No. That is what we have this good news, and also practically we know what it means really. When guidance comes from me, the verse continues. So revelation comes. We have to look for the revelation. Of course, we mentioned that it depends on which kind of people we are talking about. For you and me, the revelation is out there. For Christians, for Jews, they know that God speaks to the prophets and the Muslims as well. And he sends his message. Everybody, every group or every religious tradition claims that they have the true guidance. Christians claim the same, Muslims claim the same, Jews claim the same. So what we do now, what we are expected to do, we have to investigate what is reality without being biased. What does it mean? It means not being biased means not accepting anything previously accepted and basing all the argument on these subjects, but we have to be careful not to incline anywhere. But when we read the message, for example, the Muslims read the message, they have to freely question its legitimacy. How really it makes sense or not for me. If it makes sense, that's it. But if you are doubtful, don't twist it and try to fit into in a way that you can justify your previous acceptance. This is especially true for anyone who studies the revelation. So revelation, the guidance from God, must be studied freely. Otherwise, we cannot make sure that Quran really is the true revelation, unspoiled revelation. But as Muslims, we claim that Torah is spoiled. And the Bible is completely, almost not really lost, but not exposed to public. It is somewhere in Vatican or some other libraries here and there. There are narrations from Jesus' own teachings, but what is officially accepted and declared for Bibles, for Gospels, this Matthew or something, or other Bibles that the people are reading now, are the life story of Jesus, include some sayings of Jesus, but they are just a biography of Jesus, really. When it comes to Torah, it is not the same. Torah says, this is what I am. Of course, there are in the collection of the Torah studies altogether, the rabbinic interpretations and narrations from history as well. They have to be very careful. They have to question whether it makes sense or not without being biased. Of course, the difference between studying the Quran and Torah, studying the Torah, especially, it is difficult to study the Bible now. So the Jesus' original teaching, not biography, which is very commonly publicized and known. But original teachings, there are some gospels which are not really officially accepted, therefore very publicly spread among people. So what we have to do, rather than saying that, no, the Quran is the last one, we don't know. If a text claims to be, I am the last one, then another person comes up and claims a text to be revealed by God and may say, this is the last one, even later than the Quran. This is not the criterion. We have to be honest. Last one cannot, being the last one, cannot guarantee the truthfulness of the message. And also, this is not corrupt. Okay, there is a book published now 200 years ago. It is not corrupt. It doesn't mean that this book tells the truth that I can confirm. Now, this kind of arguments are very superficial with no basis. So we shouldn't really, I would say, cheat ourselves and justify our prejudice, being biased as being a Muslim, but we have to be free. Read the text and try to make sense whether this text can be God's speech or not. Can be. We have to be free. But how can I try my judgment? This is the most common question asked by many people. But I cannot try my judgment. Okay, we are human beings. We have to discuss this matter seriously. We are human beings. We are created in this world. And the world seems to be really telling that it has a creator, but not much. Yeah, it says my creator must have this quality, this quality, this quality. As much as I can study, again, without any biased attitude, I understand that the creator, the universe cannot come into existence by accident. It is impossible. So any human being can be satisfied with this conclusion. But it doesn't mean that, yes, there must be a creator, the source of existence, but it doesn't mean that the Quran is the only truth. The others are not. So, of course, we have to continue investigating even further. Yes, let's see whether the text claims to be the creator of the universe speaking to me, when we have to pay attention with two main fundamental points. One is whether this text, as it itself claims to be the speech of the creator of the universe, is there any contradiction what the universe signs to, points to the reality in its meaning, the way it is created? It should not contradict. For example, if a text says God is being partial, favoring some people, I would say, look at the universe. In everything, in the existence of everything, every single being declares that it is creator, whatever the quality you take in the creation of anything, declare that it is creator has absolute quality of power, knowledge, wisdom, justice, adjustment, purpose, mercy, etc., etc. And you see, there is no unjust action there. Everything is given proper, necessary proportion to fulfill its existence in the world perfectly. The snake doesn't have, as we have, legs, but it is perfectly comfortable in its existence. No injustice. But if the text says God was partial, favored some of the races, and this God is not just, because what's wrong with me? Because he created me not within this race. He created me as a human being. So I would say, I have to think about this text, leave it aside. Let me investigate. This is one way of checking, and there are not one way. One of the two fundamental ways of checking a text, whether it is from the creator of the universe or not. The second very fundamental principle in checking a text, whether it is from the creator of the universe or not, this text should mention only what I cannot learn from the universe itself. What I cannot learn by myself, being created in a body in the conditions of this life. This is important. The second principle is as important as the first one. For example, the text tells me something irrelevant to my human questions, human concerns. I say, what is the point? What is the point? So we have to be very careful, of course, how we should use these two criteria. We have to be very careful, but at least we have to have some sort of training about it, and then try to apply it and feel comfortable whether this text or this text really fits to the speech of the creator, because the speech of the creator should not really make any wasteful explanation, unnecessary explanation, which is not my human question. What shall I do with it? But while we are doing this, for example, what we really try to experience in our other Quran studies, that any text with the claiming to be the speech of God speaks in a figurative way, using analogies, parables, story like telling, in order to convey the message I need it. I need it. So I have to be very careful. I shouldn't lose myself in the story itself, but whether the meaning, the message of the story refers to something that I need to learn from my creator Otherwise, I would not get this information from anywhere else. Although my spirit is able to acknowledge the truth, but without being trained, without being guided, without being taught, my spirit cannot really make the distinction between right and wrong. So I have to learn it. That is why guidance is necessary from my Creator. This subject that we have dealt with now is related to those people who are exposed to the message, to the news that God sent some prophets. Some people say they are false, some people say they are not, they are true, they are really innocent people, etc. Then my responsibility is to investigate. Now, how about those people? Those people who have not been exposed any message. They don't know at all that there are some religions. What is religion? What is God? What is that? They have no idea. There are many people on the face of the earth like this. They are ignorant. They have not been educated. They didn't get the message from anyone. Of course, the proportion of these kind of people are getting less and less and less. That is another matter, but we have to understand that they are responsible to follow the guidance they have from their own spirit. They have no other option. They have to look at the universe, use their own quality, being a human quality, and be honest within themselves. We should not confuse them. Of course, we should be also careful not to confuse the subject with those people who reject the guidance from the Creator and replace it with the idea that I follow my own feelings. It means I trust myself. I don't trust my Creator that he is going to, or he is expected to send me the message. These are called humanists. So humanists are not innocent. They are rejecting. They know and they reject. But there are some people on the face of the earth, they have no idea this option is for them, that they have to follow their human reality, not to really distort their reality, their creation, or corrupt their creation, have a bad intention to really diverse the reality and make it egocentric explanations or interpretations and attitudes. That's their responsibility. But this responsibility is not it's not valid for you, and especially for me. I know there are some people claiming to be the prophets, and they have received message. I have to investigate them, and the criterion we have to be very careful. The first, there should be no contradiction what the universe says and what the text says. The second one is whether the text teaches me what and answers my human questions. Now, not how to make a table, for example. Now, I can learn it from the creation. So it is not human question. It is just my practical material life or bodily life. But human questions, and everything needs to be interpreted or open to interpretation in order to derive an answer to human questions. If I cannot derive an answer from an example, from an allegorical teaching, metaphorical teaching, and a story way of speaking, like fables or something, making the people and the things speak, I have to interpret them because I know that they need to be interpreted. So I cannot read them literally and say that this is true because I cannot prove it. So, that is what we have to understand. When guidance comes from me, the verse 38, now we are out of paradise now. We are in this world. We are in body and in this world, so our body is related and connected to the needs, for its needs to the rest of the universe, and my mind also is involved with what is going on in this world. How can I benefit from it? How can I interpret them, etc. So I am not really, physically speaking, in paradise, although my spirit never gets corrupted. But I can, like the mirror. Now, we should be careful about this last point. Mirror is the mirror. You cannot break the mirror. It means you kill, when you kill yourself, that's it. You are out of this creation. But otherwise, or when I die, for example, I am out of this question. That is different. Now, as long as I live in this world, mirror is there. But what I can do, I constantly not use it and make it dusty, and it starts not showing or reflecting what is in front of it. Do you see what I mean? It's an example. So if I don't use it, insist, especially consciously, deliberately, insist that I should not use it, what happens? It becomes dusty, rusty on it. Although the mirror is functioning perfectly, but I chose a way to make it completely dusty. It doesn't function for me, although originally it does. That is what we should understand. خَتَمَ اللَّهُ عَلَىٰ قُلُوبِهِمْ. God put stamp on them, means God created the dust on them because it is not used. It is left alone, and it is not polished. It is not refreshed. It is not action. It is not acting. It is not functioning. When you leave the car and not use it, 10 years later, you start to use it, it doesn't work because many parts of the car becomes rusty. That is the way the things are created in this world. That is what we have to be careful to constantly use our spirit, question it, try to get the guidance and investigate what is right, what is wrong, and follow the right as much as you can find. Avoid the wrong as much as, again, we can find. That is why when guidance comes from me, as it certainly will, definitely it will, there will be no fear for those who follow my guidance, nor will they grieve, so that they won't be really feeling any pain. What does it mean? If someone follows the guidance, what he will feel now, they will not have any fear. That is one of the criteria. When I read a text which claims to be from my Creator as guiding me to answer my human questions, I should be released of all sorts of fear. Fear of what? Now, there may be somebody who is going to break in my house, and I should lock the door, etc. Take precautions, necessary precautions. No. In my human reality, human questions. Oh, I didn't understand this. Oh, I don't feel secure in my existence because I'm going to die anytime, and I don't know what will happen to me. This is a fear. Fear of the unknown future. Fear of what the unknown reality of this world. What is going on in this world? Why the things are as they are? I have no idea. When I am an unknown in a wonderland, which I have no idea what is going on here. I don't feel secure in my existence, in my life, in my feelings. So I always feel insecure. It means either this text that I am taking guidance from is wrong because it doesn't secure me in my existence. And also, or another option, I am not benefiting from the guidance, which is mostly the case. The second option, the latter option, is mostly the case. I am not benefiting from the guidance. Excuse me. So another criterion we are learning from this verse that we will have no grief. What does it mean? So when I receive the message, it must give me the freedom of happiness, pleasure, not grief. So not grief. It means making my life miserable, making my existence in a horrible way that I am always in pain in my existence, of course, not because I am ill or something. It's bodily matters. Don't confuse bodily matters now. These are all intellectual and spiritual, feeling side of human beings. My feeling, for example, even I am ill, I must feel comfortable. Although I am in pain bodily, doesn't mind. It is temporary, and anyway, it's not. But I know that somebody is operating on me, and it is he is a wise one. He is a merciful one. He is a just one. Whatever he creates, he gives me some guidance from there, and I have to learn something. It must be better for me. This understanding I have to obtain from this text so that I will have no grief in my life. I will be comfortable about it to make sure, not imitatively, but really being sure. Okay, go away. Being sure that I am treated with a merciful and wise one. That is the message we learn from, as far as I understand from this verse. If you have any question and comment, otherwise we will go and continue to emphasize on the verses that we have not touched upon it in our other discussion on section Araf. Very quickly, we will study the others. All right? Any question, concern? Otherwise, I will continue. All right? Then if something comes to your mind, please just unmute yourself and start speaking, asking whatever, making comment or sharing your ideas. Okay, now we go back to chapter Araf that we have studied already. Just I will read the verses quickly. If anything attracts your attention, you can ask, and attracts my attention something new, I will share it with you. We have indeed established you on earth and provided you with a means of livelihood, yet little are you grateful. We said grateful, being grateful, thankful, whatever, and shakir. So whatever the way I understand the translation, grateful or thankful, it doesn't mean that, oh, I am thankful. It doesn't mean that something, for example, when I want something and I get it, I say, thank you, God, thank you, you favored me. And when I get something, I'm disappointed. That when I receive something that I didn't like it, I'm disappointed. It's not thankfulness. In fact, thankfulness means appreciating whatever is created for us, appreciating the value of it and using it for the purpose it has been created. And what is the purpose of the creation as far as my spirit is concerned, my soul is concerned? What is the purpose of creation? To get to know better. To get to know better the creator of that thing. If I utilize whatever is created for me in order to get better understanding, realization of its source of existence, I am being thankful. I remember giving this example just very quickly. I will repeat it. If someone gives you a present and if you use it for the purpose it has been given to you and be happy with it, then it is the way of expressing your thankfulness, your gratefulness. But if you don't use it for the purpose it is given to you, for example, you are giving an, I don't know, a phone, for example, telephone for, I don't know. This is a better example. Somebody brought you a bunch of flour. And what you did, you took the flour from the handle and use it as something to clean your table or something. And then turn it to man, thank you. I benefited from your present, from your gift. Is it really being grateful? We all know that it is insult. It is insult. Although you say thankful, that is what very important point that we have to be very careful. What does being thankful means? When the flower is given to you, you have to use it and try to understand the meaning, what it means for me. It is a plant, isn't it? I mean, you are not going to eat it. You are not going to benefit from it materially at all. What does it mean? It is a symbol of something. You have to read it. You have to understand the symbolic meaning in it, and then return to the man. Thank you very much. I really liked your present. I understand that you love me and expect me to return back your love to you by loving you. That is, even you don't say thankful, thank you, you are being thankful. That is the critical word that we have to be careful about. We touched upon it, but I think that much we have to mention this again to refresh our minds. 11, we created you, we gave you shape, and then we said to the angels, we have studied this, prostrate before Adam. So they all did, but not Iblis, who refused to prostrate with the others. We studied a lot this verse. So if you have any specific question, go ahead. Otherwise, I will just, we studied this. And also the following verse, God said, what prevented you from bowing down as I commanded you? And he said, I am better than him. You created me from fire and him from clay. Also, we studied this. The Iblis is the side of human being which makes the comparison on matter only, material side, and ignores the meaning deliberately. So the reason will be explained in the following verse, why deliberately ignores the meaning. What deliberately? God said in the following verse, if you have any further comments, please interrupt me. God said, then get down from this state, the pure, original form of creation. Get it? corrupt. Now you are corrupting your reality. It is not for you to be arrogant here. We said arrogance is important because arrogance means being or claiming to be better than your reality. Why the Iblis is accused here as being arrogant? Because Iblis must know. In the following discussions, he will say, I'm going to ambush them on their way to drive them away from your straight path. It means human beings are given the ability to follow the straight path. It means get to know God, their creator, perfectly in the shortest way without deviating here and there. He knows. That is what our reality knows what is right. When the Quran says they gave a lie or claimed that you are a liar, speaking to the prophets. What does it mean? They know. Lying means you know the reality, but you don't want to admit. You don't want to accept because of your arrogance, because you cannot claim something superior in your existence, being better than the others. The arrogance is very important, and we have to understand that if I, for example, am engaged with an argument or with a dispute with somebody, if I try to justify my position only, I am twisting and corrupting the truth and trying to be better than what I am. That is arrogance. We have to understand this. For example, if someone has a prejudiced idea, a biased idea, saying that, claiming that, why should I submit myself to a creator? I don't want. I want to be the best for myself within myself. That is arrogance. That is why Quran, in one way or another, refers to disbeliever, enemies of God, enemies of the prophets, as arrogant people. Mustakbar claims to be bigger and higher than what their reality is. In existence, of course. But if someone says, I am an engineer, but he's not an engineer, that is a lie. That is something else. But arrogance is one's attitude in accepting or admitting what his existential reality is. That is arrogance. Okay, I think we understood that. The other parts of the verse here we are studying.
Excuse me, Arab, the verse that you are contemplating on is not on the screen.
Thank you. Because I used to screen, so I see this screen I want to see, but I forgot to change the other screen for you. So I don't see the screen you see. But please remind me, thank you very much. This is what we studied, 12 and 13. Arrogance is the 13th. We emphasized on the importance of it. Yeah. Okay, let's go one further if you have no other comment. All right. قال انظرني إلى يوم يبعثون إذا then delay my end until the day of resurrection. We said the Iblistic side of us will remain with us until we die. It's a summary of what we studied in the section that we study on Mondays, section Arab. That's why I'm just passing the fine point in it, or the important point in it, and passing now. قال إنك لمن المنذرين. Of course, we have the tendency to delay our responsibilities, to fulfill our responsibilities. That is the tendency. God also is teaching us two things at the same time: what my reality is and what my living conditions, how my living conditions should benefit from these verses as well. So that is a two-sided message that we are receiving from this kind of verses of the Quran. إِنَّكَ لَمِنَ الْمُنذَرِينَ. The one side is says, okay, I left your free will to choose whatever you want freely, but be careful, you will be responsible for your choices. You are not here just like an animal, graze here and enjoy your life with no responsibility. Not at all. You are a human being. You have the sense of responsibility. That is existential side of the message. How about the practical living side? We are not immediately punished for our mistakes. Given permission, delayed for punishment until we die, so that we feel in our feelings, but practically we don't see any physical punishment coming to us. That is what the verse refers to us, refers to us as far as our living conditions are concerned. We have to be careful. I did this, and for example, those people who harm people, cheat people, kill people. Oh, there are lots of things are killing. Not only the killing that somebody kills in the street at night, they get drunk or under the influence of the drugs, etc. And this mafia people fight with each other and kill. No. These are simple events. Declaring war, producing weapons. These are the murderers, killers, mass killers. We have to watch out for them. Now, but when they declare war and kill 1 million people, they do. Directly kill them, or not to provide them necessary medicine or some other means of livelihood. And then they, because of this lack of the nourishment, lack of the medical care, etc., or because of the poverty, they die. Now, for example, in Iraq war, 1 million children were killed because they didn't have this medicine, whatever the disease was there, and some power, certain power, did not allow them to get this medicine, and 1 million child, they say around 1 million child died. Now, what is happening to them? Nothing. They are still alive, enjoying their life in beautiful house and then full of income from here and there, rich. Oh, look, but inneke minel munzarin, you are delayed until the appointed day. Yeah, but from inside what they feel depends on them, not on me. Depends on them, not on to decide. But apparently, I see nothing happening to them because the promise of God that they will be delayed in punishment. And then I'm going to verse 16. All right? Yeah. And then Iblis said, because you have put me in the wrong, I will lie in ambush for them all on your straight path. We mentioned that, but we said also, very briefly, I'm just touching upon the main point and passing. You have put me in the wrong. It means we have the tendency that God, it is God's mistake, whatever happens. Even some people harm and do lots of harming. For example, kill billions of fish in the oceans just to try their nuclear energy weapons. Do you understand? And what we say, why God allows these people to do that? Look, why don't you criticize this man? God promised that we are delayed. We are free to use our free will. So if there was no option, we discussed about this matter a lot. If there was no option at all to choose, then human beings will be robots. Who likes to be robot? We discussed this. So being in ambush and trying to cut our way, which goes to the straight path to God, acknowledge God, we know that it will be always with us. Our iblistic side will always be with us. We cannot say that, okay, I believe in God, I'm done now. And also I went on Hajj and then it's purified. I'm a baby, newly born baby, pure now. It doesn't work. Don't cheat yourself. It will be always with you and with me. So verse 17, right? Let's speed up. I will approach them from their front, their back, their right, their left, and then you will find most of them ungrateful. We studied this from front, from back. What does it mean from as far as our future expectations? And rather than relying on God, we will, if we follow the iblistic side of our life, our being, then we will say that I'm going to guarantee this. If I have this, my life will be guaranteed. Not related to God. From back, it means the last time, if only I did this, it would be. We don't see it would have been like this or like that. If we don't know that it is in the past, we cannot change. We have to always, we have to get only lesson from it, but rather than interpret what happened yesterday on my choices and feeling sorry, rather than seeing the wisdom in their creation. Past, to see the wisdom in their creation. Future, make your attempt, but rely on God's wisdom, God's mercy. Whatever he creates, wait. Whatever he creates, it will be best. But I will do my best as far as I know what is right and what is wrong, avoid wrong and follow right. But this is a satanic approach to us about our back, approaching from back, interpreting the back, not seeing in a way that not seeing the wisdom in their creation. And from left, we said, all our wrongdoings, we say, oh, God allowed me to do this. That is why I did that. I did this. So as if it is God's mistake. This is also a ballistic attitude. And then from right, it means whatever I do, take pride of it. Whatever I do good, take pride of it. This is also a way of not being ungrateful. It means not relating to the events and creation to God only. We touched upon them just quickly reminder. 18th, God said, get out, you are disgraced and rejected. I will certainly fill up hell with you and your followers altogether. We understand that all non-existent elements in this, in our options or full options will go to hell. What does it mean? We will not have them from our Creator's mercy that he will create for us, but God will tell us, go and ask we studied, I think yesterday, on last Monday, that we studied the verse, what was Sister Ziba actually related to, told us, verse from, 19, no, 28. I think that is the section Mbia, verse 64. We extensively studied this, that the hell means no mercy from God. So whatever you attributed either to yourself or to the nature something, or accident, luck, whatever you refer to other than God, God will say to that person, okay, go ask your luck to give you what you need. Ask nature to give you what you need. Ask accident to give you what you need, not me anymore. This life, this type of life is described as hell in the hereafter. Here also, we can feel the sign of hell, but by not being satisfied with any idea, any way of explanation of existence, not attributed to its creator. Okay. I'm going fast. If you have any more questions, please let me know. Now, but you and your wife, Adam, live in paradise. Both of you eat whatever you like, but don't approach this tree or you will become evildoers. We said the tree represents not reality. Yeah, and also the aspect of the creation, which if we don't refer it to its creator, we have to refer the existence to the thing itself, to the thing itself. For example, either you see the fruit on the tree, either you say or I say, fruit is produced by tree, yeah, or God created the tree with the fruit on it. Together, everything is directly created. The tree cannot create. If I attribute the fruit to the tree, that is the tree here is mentioned. Don't approach this aspect of existence. It means the thing itself. For example, water satisfies me. That is tree. God says, don't approach there. Water cannot know you, cannot satisfy you. But the one who created the water and also created your need, he is satisfying you in this causal world with water, through water, in this causal world. That is the excuse. So if you are aware of it, I want to finish the discussion today, but the time is up. It is coinciding with Monday's discussion, mashallah. So inshallah, let's stop here because the time is up and aim at finishing it on Monday, on next week. And then what I am preparing now and studying on it, I have been studying on it. It's a very interesting and exciting subject as far as it is relation to our life. The story of Maryam in the Quran. Mary. So lots of interesting things are coming up. Inshallah, next week, if we finish the rest, because we will try to avoid repetition, so we may go very fast and finish it. We will start the story of Mary. If we don't, the following week, inshallah, we will start the story of Mary. It's very interesting, very interesting. Most of the people know the story of Moses and Abraham, so they are very famous, but it is not very widely studied, the story of Mary, and the story of Jesus. Of course, what we study for not the story itself. How can I relate it to my life? So inshallah, there are interesting points that I'm taking notes of it, and I am excited to share them with you. Any more questions and concerns? Inshallah, I will. Otherwise, I will stop here. No. Everybody says, okay, we had enough of it. Inshallah, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Wa akhiru da'wahum alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.